Welcome along to Cruise1st Luxury Collections, where we relax together and spend real time talking about luxurious and incredible cruise and stay worldwide adventures. This is the show that connects you to those getaways with that certain extra something. Those bigger and more immersive journeys to really remember. And here at Cruise1st, we've been working together with the cream of luxury cruise, river and tour operators around the globe for over 25 years, building exceptional relationships and delivering more fulfilling luxury experiences. If you like to enjoy the finer things in life, then this is the show for you. And our dedicated luxury concierge team will always be at hand with the very best experience, recommendations and reliability that today's travelers demand. Come with us as we step out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. And this time we're setting sail with amazing, iconic and aspirational Cunard, where we voyage rather than cruise, and the whole experience is in elevated luxury. And it's to new heights with its charming decors, incredible heritage and a service that tempts so many thousands of passengers from around the world for their very special brand of sailing experience. In this show we're joined by Savannah Fryer from Cunard as we spend a whole hour exploring and indulging the Princess Grill's life on board, where you board first and enjoy exclusive treats and amenities when you're on board with them, as we cruise part of Queen Anne's world cruise from Australia to the UK, have 2 tempting winter breaks to the Caribbean and the Canary Islands on a no-fly trip. We'll also head to Alaska next June for an Alaskan Explorer. Also joining me is cruise guru and columnist Jane Archer to tell us her experience on board Cunard. So lots to look forward to over the next 60 minutes, and it's served up Cunard style with grace and elegance.
Discover a world of sophistication and personal service with the Cunard Grill Suites experience, an elevated journey that blends heritage, elegance and contemporary indulgence. Designed for those who seek something truly special, this exclusive offering redefines luxury at sea. Grill Suite guests enjoy spacious accommodations with refined decor, a private balcony and thoughtful in-suite touches that enhance comfort and style. A dedicated concierge is on hand to assist with every request, while priority embarkation and disembarkation ensure a seamless journey from start to finish. Dine in a serene, exclusive restaurant where menus change daily and are crafted to your preferences, with fine wines and impeccable service. Enjoy access to private lounges and a secluded terrace, perfect for a quiet cocktail or relaxing in the sun. With Cunard's Grill Suites experience, every detail is elevated, every moment effortlessly exceptional.
And your Cunard adventure awaits. Here to talk us through the experience and what to expect is Savannah Fryer from Cunard. Savannah, welcome. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. I have got 1,000 questions, but luckily we've got a whole hour, which is amazing. Big year for Cunard, right?
Yes.
Celebrating a rather large birthday?
Yes, 185 years.
185? I mean, that just seems unfathomable, doesn't it, these days?
It really does, doesn't it? Yes.
That's crazy. And Cunard, of course, kind of set the standard. We wouldn't really have cruising the way it is today if it hadn't been for Sir Samuel.
No, that's very right, yeah. So there's a lot of Cunard firsts as well that set the precedent for the rest of the cruise industry.
So how is it being celebrated? Quite a few different ways, I believe.
There is a lot of different ways. So we have like very nice event voyages going on, so different itineraries. So we've got like transatlantic ones, we've got Norwegian fjords where we'll have different events on board. We work with a lot of influencers and inspirational speakers. We call them insight speakers. So a lot of enrichment going on across our ships. One of the ones that I'm attending on the bank holiday Monday is the Sea of Glamour exhibition in Liverpool.
Oh wow.
So that's celebrating all the previous photography of Cunard and all the archives. So that'll be in the Liver building where obviously Cunard used to be.
Oh, amazing.
So that'll be really special as well.
And aren't the 4 queens coming together at some stage?
We hope so. We do want that. So
okay.
We hope so.
Oh, is that a rumour right now?
Yes, it's a rumour at the moment.
Okay.
But we do hope so. So yeah, because I mean, it was such a big celebration in Liverpool when all the 3 queens came together.
Of course,
so we'd love for that to happen again. So we'll just watch this space at the moment.
So Cunard in a nutshell, for anyone that hasn't experienced it, if you haven't, I mean, 185 years later, where have you been?
Yes.
But who is it? What is it? Who's it for?
It's changed so much, especially over the last 5 years, I would say. So I started about 5 years ago, started sailing with Cunard, and it did used to be like that. It had some, conceptions about it, maybe misconceptions, maybe some perceptions that maybe it was, people thought it was a bit stuffy or too formal. It's not a bit like that. It's actually really relaxed. It's an elegant, it has that White Star service, it's elevated, and the minute you walk on, you're greeted by a bellhop. It's very special. It's like walking into the Savoy, and it's really grand, but there's no there's no perceptions that you have to dress up all the time. It's quite relaxed. It's a lot different than it used to be, but it's fit with the current times. So it's
really an experience, but it's still a special experience, but it has moved with the times.
It has moved with the times, yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
So it's really adapted really well. So we're seeing a lot more younger ages on there as well. Like we're saying about 35 plus now onwards.
Okay.
Really changed as a brand. I mean, I did start about 5 years ago. I'm 30 this year, and when I went on when I was 25, I actually thought that is for me. It's that luxury, maybe a luxury for less because we have lowered off some of our prices, but also it still gives you that luxury experience. So we've not cut anything back. We still maintain what we did 185 years ago, which is very special, but we just bring other things to life, which is very different. So.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. That's great, actually, because actually we can spend the next hour together really deep diving into that, because you might have that misconception actually that maybe Cunard is a little bit there and you're a little bit there, and actually let's correct that perception in this show, and let's do it in style as well. It's pretty. We've got some lovely getaways coming up. It's going to be incredible. In fact, should we go on our first? Why not? Let's go to the Caribbean. Why not? And let's stay in Miami. Why not? This is the 15th of November next year. It's a 13-night trip, and we are going to fly you out, of course, to Miami first, and we've got a 3-night hotel stay all lined up for you there. So this Golden Beach can be there awaiting you. How travelled are you, Savannah? Where have you been here and there? Have you been to Miami?
I have been to Miami.
Okay, what was your highlight?
I just like the Art Deco districts. I quite liked all the different urban districts and just driving down and just seeing very different things. The beaches as well. I love a white sand beach. So
nice.
All for me, that.
Shopping, I guess, as well is always a good thing to do there as well. Well, we've got 3 nights in a hotel there before we join Queen Elizabeth with Cunard, and we have the most amazing accommodation on board as well. We're talking about the Princess Grills experience here.
Yes.
And so this is an elevated experience, which is great. And I guess that elevation starts from when you board, does it?
It does, yeah. So you get priority boarding, embarkation and disembarkation. You get shown to the Princess Grills suites. It's just so amazing. Once you've done it, it's that epitome of luxury, really.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of turn left experiences,
yes.
I suppose, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Queen Elizabeth herself, very, very charming indeed.
Yes.
So actually, when it does come, because I believe actually these days what happens with Cunard is by day you're as casual as you would be kind of anywhere else, given where we are in the world for this cruise. And it's kind of evenings where things transform a little bit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So on average we do 2 gala nights, on an average 7-night sailing. So a 14-night you'll have 4 gala nights. But what I really love about Cunard is that we make a theme out of them. So if you're in a destination, like if you're in Alaska, for example, we do ice white balls, so it fits with the theme of the destination. Yeah. So the Caribbean will have something very similar. It'll be all Caribbean flair, maybe a bit of Jamaican style. Again, we do the culinary residencies as well, but everything comes to life on Cunard. And I think, where else do you get the chance to dress up these days? If you go out in town, you just don't.
True.
So yeah. I do think the younger people as well, we are finding dress up more. But we have relaxed it. We do say, men don't always have to dress as penguins. They can relax the ties if they want.
Yeah.
We're very fun with it, but it's very free-flowing, but about 90% dress up, and it's a full occasion. The whole ship comes to life.
Well, actually, it's funny, isn't it? Because we talk about less formality, and actually you're quite right, because the younger generation that are cruising as well, and the average age coming down, actually people do like to dress up, because it's all about the Instagram. It's all about how it looks in a picture these days as well, which is a good point. So let's start our Caribbean cruise then. We're out of Miami, of course. First day at sea to get to know the ship. We're in Georgetown in the Cayman Islands here, which is the capital. It is wonderful. take it as read, book the excursion to Stingray City. Everyone does. It's got to be done. It's an amazing experience before we cruise on to Montego Bay in Jamaica, the northwest of Jamaica. You can hear the reggae in the background. You can hear the steel drums already, can't you? You know, fabulous beaches there, and there's lots of great atmosphere to be had. Martha Brae River is the big excursion there. Day at sea to Roatan in Honduras. This is the northern coast of Honduras. But at the end of the day, all of these places are in the Caribbean, and that's all you need to fix your mind on, because every one of these islands is different and vibrant, has lots and lots of fantastic beaches, but also lots of history to explore as well. Costa Maya, for instance, that we're in now in Mexico, is wonderful. Go to Mahahual on the white sand beaches there, or go and see the pyramids at the famous Mayan ruins. And again, there's more Mayan heritage in Cozumel as well that you can go and explore, or head to Palanca Reef and enjoy the exotic marine life there. Or take my tip, the shopping just near the port in Cozumel is fascinating. Honestly, it is. You can get a little bit of everything there, and it's right next to where you port as well. What a lovely little journey around the Caribbean. This is wonderful. And you know what, the Caribbean, I mean, you can go there 1,000 times and love it every single time, can't you?
Yes, you can. There's so many different areas, and what's great with our itineraries, they do western, eastern, all different areas of the Caribbean, so you'll get different experiences each time, and you can do different durations. Queen Elizabeth just had a refit as well, so she looks very, I want to use the word bougie because she does to me, but yeah, she looks absolutely stunning, and she's geared towards the Caribbean, you know, open sun decks, you're thinking, more wellness cafes and bars, so there's a lot more like food on offer, so a lot of different experiences to really bring you into the Caribbean.
Let's have a look at the Princess Grills experience as well, because that's what we are going to be enjoying on board all of these as well. So that means, I mean, in terms of the accommodation, I mean, I'm guessing we're talking something special.
Yes.
I saw your eyes light up then.
I think once you've done it as well, there's no going back. We do see a big retention rate. So a lot of different markets, we work with the US market and the Europe market. Some of them pride themselves on the space. For our UK guests, we find that they actually just love the dining experience. So they have their own private restaurant, they have their Somalia every night and the maitre d'. So, you know, they have that same sitting on the table, and it's just a bespoke Princess Grill restaurant. And they've got their open air terraces, so they've got their own lounges and areas, so it really is encompassing everything really, that you just, you know, you turn left like you said, and it's your area, and that's just for you, and it's very intimate. So, and
again, I always say with this kind of experience, it's both exclusive because you have your own areas and this, that and the other, but it's also inclusive, so you can get as involved with everything that goes on throughout the ship as you like. Something you mentioned there made me think, actually, we get an impression, I think sometimes even from our videos sometimes, of how life is in the evening and less how it is during the day. Of course, in a Caribbean itinerary, you'll be up on top deck, you'll be enjoying the
pina coladas.
But let's say our first day at sea on that one, for instance, we're getting to know the ship. What kind of activities do happen during the day if, for instance, we're on a sea day? Yeah,
so there's so much. My husband always makes me laugh because he's got the full planner out and he's got everything planned, and I just want to relax. But yeah, there's so much. You can do like spa tours and get special discounts. There's dancing going around. You can do masterclass watercolour painting. You can go have deck tours. So there is just so much going on. We always like just go navigate the ship, and we go watch a musical on the night. There's normally the silent disco, which you can't go wrong with on the night. So they really do bring a buzz to life. They welcome you with open arms, and you know, they always make it a special occasion on that first night of sailing. So. But
also, if you want that little escape, there's plenty of quiet places to kind of
There is, yeah. My favourite's the pub. So I absolutely love the Golden Lion pub.
Okay, yeah.
So I love it in there because I love Formula One. So on a day I would go sit in there, maybe read a book, then maybe watch sport like Formula One. But in there, there's always something going on. There's karaoke, we have like live comedians, we have musicians.
And is it the same kind of pub fare on the menu that we would expect in our local?
It is, yes.
Is it?
So your proper fish and chips and your steak and kidney pie. So what's really great, we've started to work work with Michelle Roux, one of our Michelin star chefs.
Yeah.
And he does a menu on Queen Anne, and we're going to try and roll it out to our other ships where it's all pub fare. So he's took our classic cocktail of Bloody Mary, and he's incorporated that into the fish and chips, doing Bloody Mary ketchup and things like that. So it's quite a clever idea, but it's all pub fare and it's all included. So
I love that. Do you know what? I knew I would love this show. When I was preparing this show the other day in the garden, in the sunshine, the rare sunshine that we get here in the UK, I was thinking I'm really looking forward to this show because there's lots about Cunard that I want to know, and I've got all the questions I think that you would have in your mind, and we'll put them to Savannah right the way through the show. We've got a whole hour, which is brilliant. Let's go back to the Caribbean for a second, because we were talking you through, of course, that Miami stay and that wonderful Caribbean getaway, which is just amazing. And we've only started to scratch the surface here, which is brilliant. So let's show you everything that's included here and remind you what the trip is. So included in our package is your return flights to and from Miami. You'll enjoy a 3-night hotel stay there before your priority boarding on board Queen Elizabeth for your Caribbean adventure for 9 nights, enjoying the very best of Cunard voyaging. Amazing Princess Grill suite with your balcony. Oh my word. Show me now, I want to go now. Luxury surroundings, grills, restaurant, concierge service, sun terrace, which are all exclusive to the grill suites, which is wonderful, and so much more to enjoy as you sail around the Caribbean. We're going to have to drag you off this, aren't we, I think. There are other dates for this cruise this winter from October through to April, and next October through to March in 2027. So if you really want to get advanced planning and booking, which a lot of people are doing right now with their cruises, I think there is a little bit of a misconception in cruising that it's all about, well, I'll grab the late deal. You know, it's all about the late deal. And it's true to say that there are late deals out there right now. Yeah. But advanced planning is good planning, isn't it? It is, yeah. I mean, I've always worked in travel, and I always found just booking it in advance means that you get that room that you want. Yes. It might be a better price. Like for us, especially at the moment, our Caribbean rates are phenomenal. So for us, it is a better price booking early. But it is about, we only have 4 ships, and we're not big. We're mid-sized ships, so it does sell very fast for us. We're looking at launching for 2028 very soon. So again, for us, it is all about that early booking, to be honest. Yeah, actually, funnily enough, something we don't talk about, and we should talk about enough, more, I should say. So, for instance, we were just on Queen Elizabeth, weren't we, in the Caribbean? Yes. So how many passengers are we talking there? So she's just over 2,080, so she's quite a mid-sized. Do you know what? That's a lower number. I know I should know this encyclopedically, but actually I had a bigger number in my mind. So that's really manageable, yes, isn't it, actually? Because that's not too intimate. But also it's not too big and vast, and you've got long walks to do all day. Yeah, that's what I love that about Cunard. So we build the ships bigger. So they actually are bigger on the outside, but so we build them like 50% bigger. So okay, so there should be more people on. There should be, yeah. Keep it deliberately lower, so you have that feeling of special. More space, yeah. So it's always 3-to-1 in space ratio and 2-to-1 for crew to guests. And why we do that is sometimes you'll be walking, or I always have a run around the top because I'm a bit of a mad person. I like working out and running. And I see nobody. And it's like, this is at full capacity, but I'm seeing nobody. But it has that essence of freedom. You know, you don't have to get up at 7 in the morning to reserve a sunbed. You get served within 5 minutes. But also the staterooms are bigger. So how we kind of do it is we make the venues bigger. So we can have more than 14 restaurants on all our ships, or bars, but we also make the staterooms bigger, so it's not tight and it's very spacious. So for instance, in my Princess Grill suite then, my balcony is going to be, on average, a lot bigger than I expect it to be. Yes, it's kind of like a wraparound as well. So a lot of people host parties in there. They have friends that come with them, or family, and we do like Princess Grill's parties on them, so they absolutely are huge. I was in just a standard balcony, and it was a 4-berth, and I went with my parents-in-law, which maybe isn't a good choice, but I did, and I'd never felt on top of them. Like, it was very spacious, and this was just a standard balcony, but so you can imagine like how much room you would have in a Princess Grill, even more. So yeah, very spacious. Do you know, I could talk to you all day long, and luckily we've got a whole hour, which is brilliant. So let's take another cruise. This time we are going to Alaska with a stay in Seattle. This is 12 nights, and it's 20th of June next year. We'll fly out to Seattle from the UK, and we've got a 2-night hotel stay there. There's the Skyview Observatory there, which you can enjoy. There's the Art Museum. There's a fabulous aquarium there. There's a Gold Rush National Historical Park. You ever been, Savannah?
I've not been to Alaska. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, okay,
That's
right.
the one I want to do.
Okay, well
Yeah.
maybe we can do each other a favour here. You can tell me all about the ships and I can talk you into the trip.
Yes.
That sounds like a fair swap to me, doesn't it? Which is wonderful. So you've got a couple of nights there in Seattle, which is a lovely city, great gateway port to Alaska as well. And we're on board Queen Elizabeth, which is just beautiful. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You look sometimes at these videos, it's almost like stepping back in time a little bit, isn't it?
It is.
You know, it's almost like a film set, isn't it, on board?
Yeah.
But actually very few cruise lines feel like they focus on charm, and I feel like Cunard is very charming.
Yes, yeah. Even the Queen Anne, I know she's brand new,
Yeah.
but the minute you walk on, you know it's a Cunard. You
Yeah.
get that charm, you get that grand staircase. That's great for the photo opportunities.
Of course.
And you get the bellhop. So it is that charm, and we'll always keep it that quintessentially Cunard, the charm. But you'll walk around Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria because she's the sister ship, and you'll find that it moves from that tradition and charmlessness, as you said, to this modern kind of bouginess, and it blends so well. It's like the old meets the new, so it just works really well for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely. And I think, like you say, actually, it's a little bit misunderstood out there sometimes, isn't it? I think people think, okay, well, I want to do Cunard, but I'll leave it maybe until like a little bit later.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm, on some kind of journey towards it, like it's going to be quite a sedate affair. And actually, you're painting a picture that it's far from that.
It's not, no. It's how you want to make it, really.
Yeah.
If you want to sit in your room and order room service, it's 24-hour room service, which is complimentary, then you can absolutely do that. If you want to go out all night, you can. There's clubs on board. We have so many different bars and experiences. On Queen Anne, we've just welcomed like immersive theatre, which is really fun. So they kind of interact with you if you want them to.
Yeah.
The silent disco, we have so many musicals that we pair up with the British Film Institute, so we work with the West End and Broadway, so it's all, where else can you get that experience?
It's amazing. The calibre of this experience is great. Let's take our journey around Alaska. So we have 9 fabulous nights, and we have a day at sea first, and we're in Ketchikan in Alaska. So this is southeastern Alaska here, famous for the fishing, the totem poles. You can take a tour to the Misty Fjords, which you can do on a float plane there as well, see the waterfalls. Then we head into icy Strait Point. This is great for whale watching, and of course, where you are with your Princess Grill Suites, you've got perfect vantage point on your own balcony, of course, to enjoy. There's also the world's biggest zip line there as well, if you're adventurous. Haines in Alaska is next. It's a very tiny town, actually, in southeastern Alaska. There's guided tours here to see the brown bears and the bald eagles, and lots more on offer. I mean, listen, if it was just that view, I'd be very, very happy for the day, wouldn't you? Juneau is next, which is the capital of Alaska. You kind of feel like you need to go into Tracy's King Crab Shack, don't you? And there's also there's some amazing shopping to be done in these ports as well. It's really, really lovely because they're very, very charming little places, because Alaska is all about the lovely scenery, of course. We are scenic cruising for a day in Glacier Bay. This is today the day to get your binoculars out. I hope you've got plenty of pairs on hand, Savannah. But you bring yours from home as well. Day at sea, and we round off in Victoria in Canada. This is the capital of British Columbia. It's on Vancouver Island, and you can visit the famous Butchart Gardens here, of course, or you can tour the waters of Vancouver Island itself for some last-minute whale watching. Talking of whale watching, let's have a look, because, of course, taken from wonderful vantage points around Alaska is this fabulous video, which we have to see, which is showing you all of the wonders. I mean, cruising through Glacier Bay as the glaciers are carving must be one of the most incredible life experiences. I think Alaska is one of those places. I think people often think with cruises, oh, it's all about the sunshine. And actually, no, it's all about the discovery. It's all about where you're going. It's all about, I mean, this might be the kind of thing that you only ever see once in your life, but you will look back on it and say, I am so glad I did it. I tell you what else you will do as well. It's quite often I hear people coming back from Alaska and they're talking everybody else into it.
Yes,
that's
yeah,
what's
we
happening.
do. Yes, yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
I would love it. I mean, it's definitely. Well, I'm doing it next summer myself, Alaska as well, for the very, very first time. And I just can't wait to do it. And doing it with Cunard, you're doing it in style. I guess in Glacier Bay, you're going to have some. Are you going to have some onboard commentary? Will there be a guide, or what will happen?
Yeah, so we work with Bear Grylls, for instance.
Okay.
So we have Kenton Cool, so like the mountain climber.
Yeah.
We actually have Wild Bill off Deadliest Catch this year. So I love Deadliest Catch, I don't know why, but there's Wild Bill on it. So we tend to use the specialists that are, you know, native maybe to Alaska, or they know about it, or they're very adventurous, you know, they've got a path to share. So we call them our inspirational insight speakers. So they will do a commentary in the main theatre. You might just see them in the pub as well. They can just sit and talk to you. You can sign one of the books. So we always have that.
So is that kind of information available? Because obviously I'm going to all of these places and I've heard of them, and I know the names inside out now, but
Yes.
I don't know what's there. I haven't been there before. What's the best thing to do? Is there recommendations along the way?
There is, yeah. So what we try and do is we work with all different kind of areas of the kind of Alaskan kind of. We've started to change it really, because we used to go from Vancouver, whereas now we go Seattle.
Yes. Yep.
So we have had to change quite a bit of it, but we're still saying, you know, we're still seeing the same ports, and we're still working with them local authorities. So we are like creating like a bespoke Alaska package. What's great with us is because we are smaller and we're more streamlined, we can get into the ports a lot easier. So we can get like 300 metres to the glacier sometimes.
That's really close.
It's very close, and we did it for the first time last year with Queen Elizabeth. That's why she's the perfect ship for it. But it meant we could see all the bald eagles flying overhead, and you know, the native wildlife. So, but we'll have speakers on, and they'll be on the top deck with us talking, or they'll be in the main theatre. So they'll keep you updated along the way. And we also like advertise out in advance who's going on. You know, if it's a celebrity, if it's an influencer, a mountain climber, and then they'll talk about their journey in Alaska and their experience. So we always work with the best in that.
So really, this is about every aspect of this journey is really thought about. It's not just, okay, here's a ride around Alaska like we were at a theme park, for instance, and you're kind of left to just go, ooh, ee, ah. It's actually, it's a lot more layered than that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I think we're going to do the Caribbean exactly the same as well. That's what we really want to hone in, and that's why Cunard's very special, because it works with the best, and it has the best. And it's like we do a fresh Alaska crab, and we create a frontier restaurant, so it's like you sat on the Rocky Mountaineer, and you know, it's just a different experience, but that's in the main buffet. But we do all that to elevate the experience of being in Alaska and have that feeling of eating local delicacies. Ice white balls is another staple, and the masquerade balls on the night where everyone wears blue and white. Ice sculptures, it's just everything comes to life on the ship with Alaska.
My word, honestly. I am so ready for this, aren't you? I'm so excited. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, right, okay, I'm ready. Here's my money. Listen, Jane Archer, cruise journalist, has been on board with Cunard. She's joining me later in the show to give us her view on Cunard and the experiences she's had there. Back to this Alaska itinerary. You can book this today with a deposit of just £199 each. I'm kind of, how close to the edge of your seat are you right now? The more we learn, the more we think, oh my gosh, this is like someone opening the window and showing me the way. It's amazing. Here's everything that's included. So this is your incredible Alaskan adventure for next June. Perfect time to plan it right now. Return flights to and from Seattle included. 2-night hotel stay there before you join Queen Elizabeth in your Princess Grills suite, with a perfect vantage point from your balcony to enjoy the wonders. And if you're getting as close as 300 meters in Glacier Bay, to those glaciers, and you can almost, if they're carving, you can hear the crack of the carving. Oh my word, I am so there. You are cruising in style, so many comforts in your suite, like welcome goodies, your amazing bathroom with bath and shower, the wonderful Princess Grills restaurant for you to enjoy exclusively, sun terrace to go view the glaciers and hear the commentary, enjoy the wildlife, see the eagles and the bears and everything else. Incredible concierge service when and where you need it as well, as you cruise for 9 nights. And there are other dates for this package. It's a good job actually, because I think this one will sell out pretty quickly. From July to September this year, and then May to September next year. So speak to our dedicated concierge team right now to find out more on 0800 953 4701. Oh my word. Oh my word, I'm so excited. It's incredible. Give us a call today. Joining me now on the show is leading cruise travel journalist Jane Archer. And Jane, let's talk about the Cunard difference, because there really is a difference with Cunard, is it? It's still, for a lot of people, it's still that pinnacle voyage, isn't it? It's still that yet untouchable journey.
Oh, definitely, yeah. For a lot of people, Cunard is the one that they've reached the pinnacle of their cruise career once they've been on Cunard. And particularly when they've done the transatlantic as well. And it's all about the elegance, the style, the heritage, the formality. Although they have rode back on that quite a bit these days. It's not like it was in the days where before the aeroplanes were going back and forth across the Atlantic, where every day you were dressing up and all the rest of it. But now it's very much there for those who want it. I don't know, let's say for 3-4 days of your cruise, depending on your cruise. And you've still got the ballroom dancing. It's very much an experience, and it's an experience unlike any other cruise line.
Still very special and distinct as well, because of course there are only 4 ships, aren't they, which is great.
Yes, exactly. And it's almost a little bit of exclusivity there, isn't it? I've been on a Cunard ship. Well, there are only 4 of them. And let's face it, until recently there were only 3, and now the fourth has only just been added. And
there's big gaps between additions as well. We know absolutely nothing about any additions that are coming, so it's obviously a very, very long way off. Let's talk about, everyone has an amazing time with Cunard anyway, as standard, but you can also elevate your experience as well, something which you've done in the Grills experience. So tell us your experience of that.
Yeah, well, there are 2 there, really. You can go for the Princess, which is what I did, or you can go for the Queen's Grill, which is the even higher status, if you like. And it's a lovely, because it's something, you get your own restaurant, you get your own bit of deck, you get your own lounges to go into, and so it gives you a feeling of exclusivity, which is lovely. And what I liked in the restaurant in particular, and it's also, as I say, I did Princess, but it's also with Queen's, is that you have freedom to dine whenever you wish in the evening. Mm-hmm. So instead of it being set dining, you can go in if you fancy it, I don't know, let's say 8 o'clock, or if you want to go a little bit earlier, 7:30, it doesn't matter, it's entirely up to you, it's your choice, because you've got this sort of elevated experience, if you like, and it adds an extra layer of luxury, if you like.
It's one of those things, I guess, a lot of people will consider if, for instance, they're celebrating, maybe it's a milestone in their life, it could be a big anniversary, it could be, that's it, the world of work is done, I am free.
Yeah.
That's the time to kind of really home in on an experience like that, I guess.
I think so, and why not? You could, it's a wonderful way to celebrate. And again, if you upgrade a little bit and you go to either the Princess or the Queen's, you get a few extra perks thrown into it as well, which is really nice, in terms of priority of getting on and off, and in the Queen's where you get a free minibar set up and things like this, and it just elevates the experience that little bit more, and it makes it that much more special. And of course you still have the rest of the ship to enjoy. You still have the ballroom dancing, you still have all the other things you can enjoy. On Queen Anne, for instance, you can even learn to do, I don't know how you would learn archery.
Oh, yes.
Yes, on the archery course.
Oh,
yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic?
So is Jane Archer now an archer? Not quite, maybe.
Not quite, but she did open it.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
I want to ask you quickly about the evening entertainment experience, because again, that's something that we do always see, and it looks very grand, almost like that Sunday night at the London Palladium kind of experience. Is it really magical?
Oh, their theatres are really like something out of the London West End, with their boxes and all the rest of it, and they do look very, very special. It has to be said, yeah.
So worth treating yourself then to that little upgrade if you're celebrating something, or maybe even if you're not celebrating.
Absolutely. Why wait until you have to celebrate? Just do it.
Too true. Sage words indeed. My thanks, Jane. As always, it sounds tremendous. Remember, when you're booking these amazing Cunard voyages, you can trust our amazing team to find you the dream ticket.
With 25 years of travel expertise, when booking with Cruise1st, you can be sure that you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We work with all the major cruise lines to bring you the most comprehensive selection of exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. As a fully bonded member of APTA and Atoll Protected, you have the peace of mind that your booking is always safe with us. We make it easy to budget for your dream holiday. With many of our deals, just pay a deposit today and you then have until your due date to pay the balance. Plus, we're one of the highest rated cruise agents on Trustpilot, with over 7,000 independent reviews. This all means that you can be fully confident when booking your next exciting adventure with Cruise1st.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to get Jane's take on it as well, because of course Jane has seen absolutely everything across the cruise industry. Well, it's my great pleasure that Savannah Fryer is with us today from Cunard. And honestly, I have to say, you really have. It's like you have opened the curtain and let the light in on what is Cunard, because it is a little bit misunderstood. And it's great because in what, half an hour so far, you've completely unwrapped that and dispelled all the myths and whatever. Let's just talk about the evening, though, as well, because you talked about all the other, discos and other things that could be happening. But that sense of occasion in the main theatre and the big productions, I still want that to be absolutely as golden and as special as it ever has been. Is it?
It is, yeah. We still have the royal boxes as well. So we have you can actually have them. You can just hire them out, and you get your own bellhop, and it's an amazing experience. And it's really good value as well. And you have your own food and champagne there. But it's just the minute you walk in, you get served little mini popcorns, and it's very cute. There's different performances on every night. The one I absolutely love at the minute is Pride and Prejudice, sort of. So it's a funny take on Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
With karaoke in.
Yeah.
But then you'll have your classic West End ones as well. So it's what I love with Cunard. It's something different every night, and there's 2 showings of it, so you'll never miss it. You don't have to book. You can just show up, and you've got them really glamorous seats. It's like walking into a London theatre, and you get that sense of occasion in there.
One more thing, because I'm just trying to mind read everyone at home and say, okay, what are the questions? What are they thinking? What's in the back of their mind? Are we talking with Cunard in general, couples mainly, or are we talking bigger family groups? I know, since the big pause in travel, the makeup of holidays has changed completely, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. So I mean, as I was saying earlier, I feel like it's just massively changed. Older people aren't as old anymore. They're quite, young. I'm
glad you said that. I'm the wrong side of 50.
You don't look it.
Well, bless you for saying that.
But they do, they're in the gym, or they're out all night, till 4 in the morning. Maybe they're in the clubs with us. I mean, I was trying to out-dance a 70-year-old, but I couldn't do it. So I was but it just shows you,
and you used to be a dancer.
Yeah, and I used to be a dancer. So yeah, but I do think the more brought to they've grown up around technology. They're walking around with Kindles and iPads. I've got my classic book, so it's it is different. We do see a lot of couples, but we're starting to see multi-generational families as well. And what's great with Cunard, we were the first to have kids clubs. We were the first to introduce that. So we're seeing more kids, more than ever as well. And it's more mature adults or really small children. We haven't got all the slides and everything like that, but we've got up-to-date PS5s and Xboxes and all the kids' equipment.
Whatever they may be.
Whatever they want, it's theirs. But it's nice to see them enjoying it and them getting dressed up, the little girls and the little princess dresses and things like that. It's very special. So, yeah.
That sounds magical. Let's go on the latest Queen then, shall we? She launched last year, in fact, the Queen Anne, and we're going on a sun-soaked Canary Islands 2-week cruise. Sounds all right to me. 2nd of November, all right with you? Sounds brilliant. And we will be cruising out of Southampton, which is wonderful. And I always think that's a very special cruising experience anyway. When you're getting on board a Cunard, you always think, yeah, actually, I want to do it out of Southampton. I want that. Yeah. I want that. You won't remember Meg Mortimer from Crossroads when she did that famous goodbye on board, and it was on board one of the Cunard ships, of course, as she went. But there's that little feeling of grandeur, I think, isn't there, that comes with it?
There is, yeah, and also the unlimited luggage, so you can take as much as you want.
That's a fair point. If you've not cruised before, or if you've not cruised Cunard before, you might well think, and actually you've done an amazing job at kind of repacking our suitcase in a way for a journey like this, because I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to try and shoehorn
Yeah.
12 penguin suits into the case, and there's room for little else.
Yes.
But
yeah.
not true, no?
No, not true at all. I mean, in a general day, will walk around in my gym gear. I might have been to the gym. People walk around with robes, the fluffy robes that you get in your cabin.
Okay.
So everyone gets that. Some people walk around in them when they go into the spa. It's just every day, like what I'm wearing now, every day, just normal, really. So, yeah.
Which is good. So, see, this is what I love, because, of course, we are sunshine cruising here, aren't we?
Yes.
Because, you know, that's what we do. That's the reason why we're sailing away from Southampton. Should we guess the weather on the 2nd of November in Southampton? Probably not so great.
No.
But we're off to the Canaries, and the reason we're off there in the winter is for the sunshine, which is amazing. And it just looks beautiful. It really, really does. And we've hardly talked about the ship at all. She's the newest wonderful ship. Let's go through the itinerary. We'll come back and talk some more, because we're doing part of a world cruise a little bit later on anyway. So, here we are. First port, 2 days at sea, into Funchal in Madeira, which is just the most dreamy, beautiful, wonderful place. Sun should be shining. There's lots to do there. There are many, many different adventures, and you've got 2 days to enjoy that. Day at sea and Tenerife is next. Do I need to talk you through Tenerife? I mean, it's the Canary Islands, isn't it? What you see in that picture is pretty much what you can expect. And that's the great thing. That's why we go to the Canaries in the winter, because they're reliable for the sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do you get a cloudy day down in the Canaries. Gran Canaria is amazing. Again, you can just laze on a beach somewhere near Las Palmas, where you go in and port, or you can take a tour down to Maspalomas down in the south, which is wonderful. Ride a camel. Lanzarote. Lanzarote is like Mars when you drive around. It's just the craziest place, but it's wonderful. Again, you could just do some shopping there. You could go to a beach. You could stay on board. Stay on board and just enjoy. You know, people are off doing their excursions and whatever. Stay on board and just enjoy it. Everything's there around you. La Coruña is your final port, northwest Spain. Maritime history here. Again, lots of beaches, nice scenic walks if you fancy. Final day at sea, and then I'm afraid it's back to the grey. Back to the grey of gorgeous Southampton. We love Southampton, and it's so easy to find your ship in Southampton as well if you're driving down. Honestly, you cannot miss it. And you play that game in the car where it's 50p for the first one that spots the ship, which is brilliant. Oh, actually, my producer tells me that with inflation, it's gone up to £1 these days. There you go. Of course, you're enjoying this in a Princess Grills suite, so let's go and enjoy that. And because that's not just about the suite, that's about the exclusivity of quite a few things, Savannah.
Yes, I think with Queen Anne as well, what's really great what they've done is the sun terrace deck. It's made it even wider than most of our other ships, so it spreads around. You have your own jacuzzi in there that is just absolutely wrapped around. You can have afternoon tea as you're arriving into Tenerife, for example. Ooh. But, you know, it's like one of them Savoy afternoon teas, you know, the massive ones. So, it's just a really nice experience, and I think that's what most people make the most of with
Yes, because the Princess Grills afternoon tea is not the same as everybody else's, is it?
It's not. It's quite elevated, yes. What I do quite like is that they dust like the cues on the scones, and they do little authentic touches like that. It's like being in Alice in Wonderland's tea party. So.
And that has led my mind to thinking, can I take a little piece of the ship home? Are there souvenirs and memorabilia that I can buy in the shop?
Yes, there is.
Wonderful.
Yes, we started to sell a lot more as well in our bespoke shops on Queen Anne.
And you've got professional. I know this is a silly question, but you've got professional photographers on board, because listen, I can do a selfie with the best of them, but it's not that picture of you and your other half.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I know, because we have our own photography studio as well, so it has like its own shop, and it does like that new Opal kind of eye one as well. There's so many different experiences, but we do have top photographers on board. Where they actually have you as well is always on the grand staircase, or it's somewhere outside, or it can be in your Princess Grill, you know, it can be anywhere you want it to be, so very good.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is a stunning getaway as well for November. It's almost a late deal now if you think of where we are in the year already. Some wonderful warm weather to enjoy. And you know what? When it comes to being in the Canary Islands, it's a lovely escape. I think there's a familiarity with the Canary Islands because someone, if it's not you, someone that you know has had a holiday in Lanzarote or in Tenerife, or, you know, one of those Canary Islands. They feel familiar as well. And it's funny because they're only down there, and yet that's like a 4.5 or 5 hour flight to get down there. But why not do it where the whole journey there is holiday? And boy, is this a holiday. Here's everything that's included. 2 weeks in a Princess Grills suite. I think I can cope with that.
Yeah.
This is another one. You'll need to be dragged off this at the end, won't you? Your reserve table at your Grills restaurant, of course. Exclusive use of that larger sun terrace on Queen Anne. She's the newest of the ships. Concierge service, wonderful suite to enjoy. The weather on your balcony, of course, if you want to. If you're like me and a bit of a lazy so-and-so, I quite like getting up, having the big breakfast, having a little look around, having a coffee and whatever, and then in the middle of the afternoon I'll nip back off to bed. Just for a couple of hours. You know what? It might be a long night. The option to dine in your suite is there for you as well as the sun sets. Oh, what a picture we're painting here. Amazing. 2 weeks of pure bliss for November. And if you book this today with Cruise1st, up to $1,025 of onboard spending money per cabin is on offer too. Thank you very much. You can come again. You're cruising the Canaries and Madeira in winter, enjoying the sunshine too. Now, there are other dates for the cruise on various dates this year and next year as well. So just give us a call on 0800 953 4701. Now, let's just quickly talk about, because there'll be a lot of people that have cruised on Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, and Queen Anne. It was more than a decade later before the latest launch, so there's quite a big gap between one and the two.
Yes.
If I've cruised the other three and not yet Queen Anne, am I going to find it the same Cunard?
I think it's very quintessentially Cunard. The minute I walked on, I knew it was Cunard, and the top decks and the layout. You know, we always have like 14 decks. It's not huge, but in size-wise, she can accommodate 3,000 guests.
Okay.
So she is a lot bigger.
Slightly larger, yeah.
Slightly larger, but tonnage-wise, she's actually smaller than Queen Mary. So
Okay,
she's
well,
actually not as bad.
tonnage means nothing to any of us. But you're not going to get that feeling of vastness if you've sailed with the other Cunard
Exactly
ships.
that. So because you've been on maybe Queen Mary before, she is just as big with that. So with Queen Anne, she's actually just that mid-sized ship. So she's just absolutely stunning. She is very modern, you can tell. She's that modern, she's that new era ship.
Which you would expect, wouldn't you?
You would, but there's still the same staples. You know, you've got that beautiful Commodore Club at the front of the ship, which is where we always serve like the late night drinks and the cocktails and do mixologist classes and things like that. And it really comes to life on a night. But that's where you see the sunset or the sunrise. That's still there. We still have the pavilion pools. We have that classic Queen's Room for ballroom dancing or silent disco. So we still have the main staples of where you'd find everything. So you'd easily navigate around it as they're all in the same places. So very easy.
Talk me through the spa experience. I'm sure you've delved.
I have, yes. I absolutely love the spa. It is very different to the other ships because the other ships have it more on deck 8 and 9, so they have more panoramic views.
Yeah.
But with the new kind of regulations, we had to do it further down. But it actually really works well because it does feel like you're in an intimate space. So we work with the likes of Harper's Bazaar and the London Academies, so all the spa therapists have to go under 900 hours of training.
Wow.
So they're really in depth. And for example, I had a couples massage and it was a really lovely room and it had pods in, so we could just sit and watch the sea go by, which was really lovely. And the spa therapist, I've always had a knot in my back. No one's ever been able to get it out. They got it out within 5 minutes. So yeah, they have the best products like LMS products, and they're always really great deals as well. You can get a spa day pass for $55. I mean, you can't get that in Manchester. So
No.
And you get in all, you know, the hot stone beds, the pod rooms, you know, the thermal suites, the different sauna, ice cold bathrooms, the hotter ones, the thermals, so all that experience what you would get in an up spa in here or London.
Oh,
you're getting on board.
my word.
Very lovely.
You've got to stop.
Yes.
You've got to stop.
Sold you the spa.
Honestly, it's brilliant. Well, listen, we're going to go back on board Queen Anne right now because we're going to show you part of her world cruise for next year. Now, we do have the full world cruise available to book with our team, leaving Southampton on the 11th of January, returning 109 nights later on the 30th of April. Oh, if only my producer would give me that amount of time off, I would be on it. Call our team if you're ready for the whole 9 yards. There are a number of smaller sectors of the World Cruise available as well, like this offer, which is the second half of the epic journey, and it's taking us all the way from Sydney in Australia back to Southampton here in the UK. Now, your holiday begins on the 14th of March next year, Flying, of course, down to wonderful Sydney in Australia for a 2-night hotel stay down there. Tell you what, 2 nights in Sydney. Ever been down under?
I haven't, no.
Okay, well, it's on my list as well, let me tell you. Part of our company, we have a couple of brands in Australia. I sit here and I talk to Australians about their cruises. And so I've got to do it, if only for research purposes, you know. And Sydney is the city. If you're going to go to Australia, Sydney is the city, isn't it? So you're going to have a couple of nights there in a hotel. Of course, you're changing time zones and whatever, so getting yourself back the right way. And then here we are on Queen Anne. We are back again. How do the suites differ then? Because we were on Queen Elizabeth earlier. How do our Princess Grill suite, how does that differ on Queen Anne?
They're very much the same.
Okay,
all the same
great.
positions.
Remind me what's waiting for me when we arrive.
So you get that early embarkation and the bellhop, and they greet you, take you to your cabin, and it's just that beautiful arrival. You've got the mini bar all stocked up, your concierge service, and you know that priority embarkation means a lot to everybody. Getting on the ship early is always lovely.
And the concierge service, that I guess that's kind of like it's like a bypass for having to walk down to the main guest services, I guess, isn't
yes,
it? Because they can answer anything that guest services can.
Yeah, and I do love the way they've done Queen Anne, because they've got basically in the middle, so you have the Princess Grills and the Queen's Grills restaurants, and in the middle they've got this really grand lobby. You'll see it in the images here, and it has a bonsai tree and it's got a bar, and that's something we've not done before. So, you know, just a bespoke area where the guests can meet up, they can have their own evening together, they can have tea, coffee there, they can read a book or go enjoy the bar. But that's where the concierge service will be, and they'll be there to book your excursions, and anything's possible.
Okay, so someone you can call upon, you know, for whatever excursion suggestions, you know, restaurant booking, whatever it might be, and also to get to know them as well. You've got the time and the space to get to know them as well. Right, okay, deep breath, everyone. We're taking a half-world cruise from Sydney, Australia, back to the UK. I'm so excited. Let's go into the South Pacific first. 3 days at sea into Port Vila in Vanuatu. And again, that picture just tells you everything. This is the capital of Vanuatu as well. It is wonderful. There's a traditional village you can go and visit there as well. But I would just take in the view and those waters. It just looks incredible. Day at sea, we're nearby in Suva in Fiji. This is the capital here as well. There's a guided tour of the forest park here with waterfalls and rainforest trails, just like the one that you're seeing there in the picture. And there's the Fiji Museum as well. 5 days at sea, we're across to Honolulu in Hawaii, the capital of Hawaii, on Oahu, which is easy for you to say. Amazing volcanic landscapes and beaches here. Drive to Diamond Head Crater, hike to the summit, or you see that beach there? That's yours for the day. 5 days at sea, we're now in LA, the home of Hollywood, Southern California. We're here for an overnight as well, so you've got 2 days to go and explore, to go and tour. Go and see the LA nightlife while you're there as well. Why not? Santa Monica, Venice Beach, Hollywood Highlights tour. Need I say more? Looks lovely. 4 days at sea, we're in Puerto Quetzal, now in Guatemala. Lots of adventures here to have. You can take a boat through the mangroves for wildlife spotting in Monte Rico, head to Antigua and enjoy the wonderful colonial architecture here as well. 2 days at sea, and we do a full transit through the Panama Canal, a guided transit as well, I guess, with commentary as well, which is wonderful, through the locks, rising and falling between the Atlantic and the Pacific. Takes around 8 to 10 hours. It's a real spectacle and a real occasion. You will love it. Day at sea. Now we're in the Caribbean, Willemstad in Curacao, the capital. This is the sea of the ABC Islands. It's Caribbean with a Dutch influence. There's the Queen Emma pontoon bridge here, Fort Amsterdam, to go and visit, or you can just explore and shop. This is what people do in the Caribbean. They shop. You always have this picture in your mind. You'll just go and enjoy, and then you pass some shops. You're like, oh, I'll just nip in. The same will happen in Oranjestad, in Aruba as well. You could go to the California Lighthouse here as well, which is lovely, or a catamaran cruise. A couple of days at sea, and then we arrive in Miami. And Miami, there's lots to see and do there as well, of course, which is incredible. You can take a tour of Little Havana there, the music, the culture, the scenery as well, and so much more. Then we cruise across the Atlantic to Ponta Delgada in the Azores, the capital of São Miguel Island, of course, very lush and very volcanic. There's the twin crater lakes there for the views, or the hot bubbling springs of Furnas, which sounds lovely. A nice way to round off your cruises, 3 days at sea. And then I'm afraid it's the stark reality of the fact that, oh, I'm home. We are back into Southampton. But the great thing about that is because we've flown over to Australia at the beginning, we can do lots of shopping and collecting and, you know, buying extra cases and whatever because we're ending in Southampton. Incredible, because you're going to have a few knickknacks on the way back, aren't you? Definitely from Hawaii, from Australia itself. You know, you're going to have lots and lots of different things coming back, and you'll have done some shopping in Miami because everyone does. I mean, there's beaches there and there and there and there, and everyone goes shopping. This is an incredible world cruising adventure on the Cunard. Fascinating journey from Australia back to the UK, taking the long way home a little bit. Here's everything that's included, and that does include, of course, your flight from the UK out to Sydney in Australia to enjoy a 2-night hotel stay there before priority embarkation on board Queen Anne to your Princess Grill suite. Thank you very much. You'll be enjoying that for 45 incredible nights through the South Pacific to Hawaii, to LA, Guatemala, the Caribbean, Miami, and across the pond to the Azores and back to the UK. Enjoying your wonderful suite where you can relax and enjoy. Of course, the Princess Grill's restaurant is just for suite passengers, which is wonderful. It's all yours, as is the lounge and the terrace, complete with concierge services, the finest facilities and that elevated experience. And that's what this is about. Less of a holiday, more of an experience. And it is half a world cruise if you think about it. It's wonderful. And of course it ends back here in the UK, as we said, all the benefits of that. Wonderful. All yours with a deposit today, which is amazing. What else do we need to say? And if you want to do, listen, if 45 nights isn't long enough and you want to do the full 109 nights, I just checked in with Savannah. We can still book the whole entire cruise because these get booked up years in advance, don't they?
They do, but we still have availability for that.
Good.
So, yeah.
And there are other shorter sectors that we can take as well. I think we've got, I don't know, I looked on the website the other day, there's loads.
There is so many. I think the beauty of a world cruise, you can do anything from 2 nights, which is just Southampton to Hamburg, to 43, 69, you know, they have the 14 nights. So whichever way you want to pick up, really, and customise it for you. So, yeah.
It's amazing. Let's go back and look at the Princess Grill's experience on board Queen Anne as well, because these really are, remember, this is not your ordinary cruise experience. This is like we talk about a ship within a ship concept on quite a few different cruise lines, and this is it with Cunard. And you always expect, I think, just on hearing, you put Cunards and suites together in a sentence and you think, oh, okay, that must be very nice, but my numbers have never come up in that way. You expect to have to spend, you know, tens upon tens of thousands of pounds to even have a taste of that.
Yes, yeah.
And you really don't.
You don't know. We've actually recently lowered our prices so they're less than about 150 per person per night on some of the voyages for the Med. So it's incredible value. We've never been that low before, but I think it's just breaking it down. And why we want to do that is to attract a new market. We're seeing a lot more honeymoon couples in the 20s and 30s, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring that new generation in to experience it that maybe their parents have done, and that's what we're seeing. But it is like you want that luxury experience and you're willing to pay for it sometimes. And
just very quickly, because we're about to run out of time, I can't believe an hour's gone so quickly, but we can still have that wonderful transatlantic experience. I know we've not mentioned it so far on this show, but Queen Mary 2, that's still very much a thing. And Princess Grill's in the same way? Yes, definitely. I think that's the best way to do it, really, the transatlantic. Amazing. Yes. Well, how was that an hour?
I know, it's gone very quick.
Savannah, you're going to have to come back because honestly, I could talk to you all day long. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for
taking the time. Thank you. Honestly, I'm blown away. You're going to have to watch this show again. You'll find it on our YouTube channel under Cruise1st Luxury Collections as well. And I would act on everything you've just learnt in the last 60 minutes. My mind is absolutely full and very much looking forward to my next Cunard voyage. See you soon.